All right, good morning, agents. This is Kevin Lauren. I'm the Director of Training and Marketing here at Alta Realty Group. And today we're going to go over a very important topic, review sites for realtors, feedback, reviews, testimonials. They're all connected. They all have slightly different meanings, and we're going to go through all of it right now. This morning we will not be joined by corporate broker Bill Sites, and doesn't look like we'll be joined by Clearview Mortgage. So it's just me today, and so we're going to get right into today's topic. So realtor reviews are really important, almost as important as hotel reviews and restaurant reviews and even physician reviews. So when people are looking to choose a realtor, if they don't know that realtor, 9 times out of 10, they're going to do a Google search, especially if they just get a referral. Somebody says, hey, you should use, John Smith. So if they're getting a referral, almost all the time, if they're at all savvy, they're going to do a quick Google search just to see if there's any bad reviews and to see what you look like online. So very, very common these days. And so no longer can we just kind of throw caution to the wind. We have to take complete control of this situation, or at least do our best to mitigate problems that can arise from having bad reviews. So unfortunately, we're all humans, and there are plenty of situations where our personality doesn't mesh with another person's personality, or that person is just very unreasonable. We've all dealt with those people. And so unfortunately, there is always going to be a situation where you do your best and it's still not good enough for a particular person. Or, of course, there's plenty of situations where we actually do mess up, and there's reason for someone to write a poor review about us. So it's a very, very dynamic environment. And so as realtors, we need to A, try to do our best every time, and B, if something does go wrong, we need to be able to explain our side of the situation. So review sites are a great way to do that. It's a double-edged sword, as we all know. And so review sites are, they're touchy, and we really do just have to manage them. So first thing I want to go over is just the top, I would say, 6 sites where reviews are collected. So the number one area where you should be making sure that you have good reviews, etc., is on Google. So that's true because that's the largest search engine in the world. It's where most people start. And we are given the opportunity to have a Google business page. And so let me just show you what I'm talking about. Our Google page, so this, I just did a search for Alta Realty Group, and of course, this that comes over on the right, this is our Google listing, right? This is our Google business listing, or Google My Business is what it's called. So every realtor needs to go on they just need to go to Google My Business and to claim their real estate business online. So I've got tons of trainings on how to do that specifically. You can go into our YouTube channel and do a search for that. So that's a very, very important step. So this is what it looks like. You can see right up at the top, reviews, right? So there's 13 reviews, and everybody should have more than that. But that's what we're talking about today. So very, very quickly, we can see that Alta Realty Group has 4 stars out of 5. Now, of course, there are some agents that we were not able to please, and even more fun for a real estate group or a realty company is if we go ahead and we take a look at what these reviews are. I think only one of the bad reviews is, actually talking about our brokerage. Most of these reviews are talking about one of our specific, realtors. So they'll, somebody had a bad situation with one of our realtors, and then they'll go on our corporate Google page and they'll, write a poor review about that. So not much we can do about that. So the name of the game, of course, is to pad our Google reviews with as many good reviews as possible, because not very many people are compelled to write a good review just because they had a great experience. I have great experiences with tons of companies that I work with, and I'm not the kind of person that just will go and write a review. I just don't do that. Conversely, if that company, I had a great, experience with them, and they reached back out to me and said, "Hey, you know what? We would love to hear your feedback on how we did with, in handling, you or your company." And so all of a sudden, it's a completely different way to look at reviews, right? So that company is now asking me for my feedback. They're not saying, "Hey, reviews are really, really, huge these days, and please leave us a review." And that's really what they're saying, but they have disguised it, or they have put a gentle little coat on it, so it sounds more like they're sincere, first of all, and they want to know if there's something that they can improve upon, and they want to give you the opportunity to, let them know how you did. Now, the name of the game is, in real estate and being a realtor, is you almost always know whether that your client had a good experience or a bad experience, right? And as we all know, a lot of stuff goes sideways during real estate transactions, and a lot of it is not under our control. So we are in a unique situation as realtors. So what we need to do is we need to be able to reach out to those people that had a great experience with us, and to ask them for their quote unquote feedback, right? So feedback comes back to us in the form of a review. And then reviews are what we use for marketing. So the way that with Google My Business, the way that you would ask someone to write your review is literally do exactly what I just did. Do a Google search for your name, and we'll just use Charles Barnes as an example. He's got a great digital footprint. And so Charles has, of course, taken advantage of his Google My Business listing. He has as many reviews as we do, and all of his are 5-star reviews. So he's a rock star. He's making it happen. And you'll notice that Charles Barnes, he specializes in this little tiny community called Lakeside in Buena Park. So he's the owner of the Lakeside, and I think there's only about 100 plus homes in there, but he just tends to get the vast majority of the listings. So what he does, and what everybody should be doing, is, and I've already left him a review, so I won't. Right here, it actually says edit your review, because I'm logged in as me up here, and I actually left him a review, which is something that I'm going to talk about. Because as realtors, part of a realty group, we have the opportunity to rate each other and to give each other good reviews. So, and that does nothing more than help us pad our Google reviews. And this, of course, goes for all the other review sites that I'm going to talk about, but I'm going to spend the most time on Google because it's the most important, it's the most visible. So if I had not written a review, that wouldn't say edit your review. It would say write a review, right? I'm not going to write a review on my own company. That's doesn't do any good. So what you'll do is, once you've claimed your Google page and you've set it up, all you'll have to do is do a Google search for your name, and then you can click on this write a review link. Excuse me. And you can go ahead and rate this business. Again, I'm not going to do that because this is my business, but we can go ahead and rate the business, give it 5 stars, tell as much or as little as we want about that experience, and we can post it. So what I suggest all of our realtors do, especially if you're friends with certain realtors, within Alta Realty Group, you can go to our special app, right? So this is our app, and in our app, you can go to the community page. And when you open your app and you click on the little, I guess they call it a little hamburger icon here, this is what will pop up. And just notice that you do need to scroll down to get to the community page, okay? So once you're on the community page, you can click on users, you can click on all, and you can actually see all the agents that have downloaded the app. This isn't all 300 agents that are in the company, but this is all I think there's a couple hundred that have downloaded the Alta Realty Group app. And if you haven't done that, you should go ahead and do it. Every time I send out a replay, I put in the link to either the Google, the app store, I think they call it the Google Play Store for Android, or the iTunes download. So whether you have an iPhone or an Android, you can download the app. So what you could do is click on a certain person and send them a message and say, hey, Alicia, I'm going to be writing you a review on your Google Plus page. I would appreciate it if you wrote me a review. So you can even go and click on that write a review. And so now you'll see this URL right here. This URL will send us, and we just copy it, and this URL will send us to this place so we can easily leave a review. And let me just show you, prove that to you. So if I go to a new browser and I paste it in there, it'll come right up with that place to leave a review. See how that's way more easy for my client. They don't have to do a Google search for me. They don't have to look for me. They don't have to look for the little button that says leave a review. If I send this link to my client, this pops up exactly. And so, especially if they're already logged into their Google Chrome, this will pop right up. It'll populate their name. They'll literally be able to leave you a review within 20 seconds. Post it and they're done. So that leads me to one of the major facets of this whole review thing is you got to make it easy for your clients to leave the review. If your clients have to jump through a bunch of hoops, they're never going to do it. And they don't do it. I promise you that. Unless they're a good family friend or, they know you really well, then it's easier for you to kind of strong arm them and say, hey, leave me that review. It makes a lot of, difference for me and my business. So you got to make it really easy. So what I do is I'll take that link and then I will take it over to a shortener. So Google has a link shortener. Now, why would we do that? Because we don't want that giant weird link and have to send that into, put it in an email or even have it in our signature line when we send out emails. So we're going to go to Google shortener URL. And there's plenty of other companies that do, URL shortening. Bitly was, I think, the first one. I use Bitly all the time. But you can just go to Google URL shortener. So any one of these little shorteners will work. It doesn't really matter what you use. But what you want to do is put your shortened link. In fact, I'll use Bitly because it's pretty easy. Let me just pull up Bitly real quick. So Bitly, I just have an account with them. Slightly different than some of the other shorteners. I don't know why it's not letting me just log in, but anyway, you don't even need to log in, I don't think. You just go down here, put in your long link. So see how just obnoxious that is? You don't want to put that in an email. You don't want to put that in anywhere. You just have to click on shorten the link. And it might make me try to log in or something dumb, but we'll see. You can also make QR codes, other fun stuff with Bitly. Oh, that's annoying, but let's just see if we can get in here quick. Oh, lovely. Pop through a couple more hoops here. Okay. The fun world of passwords. So anyway, once we get into our area, we'll just go to links. We will create a link. And again, you can create QR codes, all kinds of stuff. So in this case, for us, we're just making a link. Paste that obnoxious thing in there. We're going to call this Alta Reviews. And the cool thing is we can make a little custom thing. So again, I'll call this Alta Reviews. And create. So now my little link is bit.ly/Alta Reviews. So we're going to copy this. And so now we can put this in an email. We can put this in a signature line. We can send this via text. There's a lot of ways that we can send that link. And so just to see how it works, we're going to paste that into here, right? And then click enter. And it takes us to our Google. So super effective to use the bit.ly link or a shortened link instead of trying to just send that giant weird link. It looks spammy. It looks like it might be, take you to somewhere that you don't want to be. So you don't want to use those giant links, right? So that is a very easy way to, request from your clients that they leave you a review. And so literally you can do the same thing with the other sites that we're going to go over. So let me switch gears here, and we're going to go through the rest of my graphic here. So that was Google My Business, very powerful for realtors. And so the action plan for that is to claim and verify your Google business listing. Make sure to fill out all the necessary info, put as many photos in there, try to fill out every single thing that they give you. And then, of course, you're going to ask your satisfied clients to leave reviews on your Google My Business listing. So if you had a horrible experience with a client, probably not going to send them the link, probably not going to ask them to leave the review or to leave feedback because you know it's going to be crappy. So you're going to ask satisfied clients to leave reviews. And then you're going to want to monitor your reviews regularly, respond to all feedback, make sure that if you do get a bad review, make sure that there's a response. So the viewer, and most viewers do take the negative reviews with a grain of salt. But as long as you're replying with some empathy and you're looking to right the wrong or make sure that that person feels like they're getting the service they deserve, then that's all you can really do. Then, of course, we're going to use those positive reviews in our marketing to, in our marketing efforts. So you can even, we talk about, doing social media posting and, once a month sitting down and planning out your social media posts for the month. Well, this is a great one. Every week or you have one or two good reviews that you just take out of you just copy and paste from your Google My Business listing, and you paste it right into Instagram and Facebook and LinkedIn, and you post a good review. Hey, this person had this to say about me. So using those reviews in your marketing is paramount, and that's the final kind of coup de grace that you need to do in order to wrap this whole thing up. It's great to just have those great reviews out there, but to use them in your marketing, that's kind of taking the next step. So the next most important site for realtors would be Zillow. Even though Zillow's the devil, we don't like Zillow. But it's there, and we have to deal with it. So you might as well, make sure that you have your Zillow profile all dialed in, all your current information and everything there, because we do know that a lot of people go on Zillow. And so we got to be prepared, right? So again, plan there, create the Zillow profile. If you don't have one, make sure that you fill out all of the necessary information, great professional photos, showcasing, what kind of photos you do with your listings, all of those things, super important. And then after a closing, same thing. You can, if you're, especially if you know that your client has been interacting with Zillow, you could ask them to leave a review on the Zillow profile, or again, ask them for feedback on the Zillow profile. Very, very similar. Realtor.com, absolutely the same. So we want to make sure that we have our Realtor.com, account populated with all the right stuff, current information, great pictures, all of those things. And the same thing there. You may have a client that, used Realtor.com, or that's their favorite thing. So instead of forcing them to go to Google, you can make sure that they just leave you a good review and feedback on Realtor.com. And the last one, my least favorite, is Yelp. So Yelp is, and especially for years I ran a marketing company and helped hotels and restaurants and other small businesses. And Yelp was always the nemesis. Probably aware that Yelp likes to do things like hide your good reviews. And so they'll populate your crappy reviews, no problem. And then you'll get a lovely account representative calling you, 10 times a day, trying to get you to pay them to quote unquote release your bad reviews. It's a total racket. I'm not a fan of Yelp, but the problem is with Yelp, it's not as bad with realtors, but Yelp will just give you a listing whether you claim it or not. So you got to get out in front of it. And some agents, do very well by having a very good, Yelp account, and they have lots of good feedback and lots of good reviews on that Yelp account. So very, very important to claim that, or at least make sure that if there is sometimes like I said, they'll just make one for you. So you got to know what is being displayed on your behalf on the internet. So keep an eye out there. Google your name at least once a month to make sure that you see what's going on and see if there's new reviews, bad reviews, something out there, because it's not something that intuitively you would just sit and monitor, right? So very, very important stuff. That is the bulk of what I wanted to discuss today. So if you haven't already, please go back, listen to this this recording, and make sure that you claim all of these important review sites. And also keep in mind Facebook. Facebook, you can also have people give you reviews on Facebook. So Facebook would be the number 5 most important one. And it might even be more important because a lot of people might tend to use that instead of others. So again, if you have a client that interacts with Facebook, hey, get them to leave you some feedback on Facebook, because it'll all augment it. So the name of the game is the more buffer and the more padding you can place around you and around your Google Yelp, Zillow, Realtor.com, Facebook listings, the better you're going to be prepared for when somebody comes out of the woodwork that you had a bad experience with and leaves you a bad review, because it's just a matter of time. So that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you guys get out there, make it a great week and a productive week, and looking forward to seeing you guys on the webinar next Wednesday. Thanks a lot.